this. Fresh off the Palm Beach County, that's where I'm from. When niggas get gunned down and left slung from the thumbs up a fucking round. This ain't accounting for you bitches to come around.
What up? What up? And welcome to another episode of the unofficial podcast of the National Football League, the world-famous and critically acclaimed 5-6 Kings podcast. I'm David Breen. With me, as always, my dear friend and co-host, Braden Bullard. Braden, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, David?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Doing good. I realized I'm wearing sandals. So I don't know. Oftentimes I'll sit back like this, but I don't know, like on the thing. Do you want to see my fucking feet?
They're
You know,
pretty nice
like-
toes.
Like, I don't think I do.
No, for sure.
I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Everything's
on your
all
part.
aligned. You don't have any bunions. You know, just
That's not true. I got plenty.
really
Nothing's all aligned.
all the toes. They look straight and
I mean,
connected.
I haven't been wearing heels my whole life, so they aren't like crooked and stuff.
yeah, dude.
I ain't never broken none of them.
Have you? Speaking of feet, have you seen what the Chinese people do with women and their feet? I'm not even kidding. This is like a cultural thing where they deform the women's foot to be as small as possible because that is their beauty standards. So it gets to a point, I'm not even kidding, where all of the bones in the foot break and then they tuck it underneath. So all the toes tuck underneath and you just have one big toe that's right there and then all the other ones. So it's your foot's like this. It's not like this. It's like
Well,
this.
I don't think someone's beautiful unless their feet are tiny.
Right?
Fucking tiny.
Unless all the
I don't
bones
care,
are
I don't care
broken.
what they look like.
Yeah.
They just have to be tiny.
Like less than
Small.
like 2 inches.
I like children's feet is what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Such a weird Chinese fetish.
There we go. I don't think it's a fetish. I think it's just their...
I mean, it's got to be
It's
a
like a-
fetish.
No, I don't...
What else would you call
I don't
it?
think they're jaying off to how small the feet are. I think
What's
it's
a
just,
beauty thing?
It's like a cultural thing, though.
But like if you're going off of like, oh, I like that woman because her feet is small enough for me to have now a sexual...
It's not about sexual.
I
Tiny feet, she'll bear good children.
oh, that is right.
And
yeah.
we will have 2 of them.
Yeah.
No more, no less.
I think
Ideally,
they got rid of that.
Ideally, they will both be male.
I think they got rid of that.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, oh, dude, World War III's right around the corner. This is the perfect time.
I don't think they got rid of that. I think
they did,
I
honestly.
think they're like, okay, world, you're right. We'll get rid of that. You're right. It's bad.
No, it's all...
We'll let people have daughters and they can have as many kids as they want. Okay?
Yeah, we won't kill them if they
Yeah.
have them.
Yeah. I'm doing well though.
Yeah,
Didn't
nice,
ask, but
nice.
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I made the announcement. We're gonna get into the movie quick. I'm not gonna talk about this long. Made the announcement. I won't be wearing the Dolphins shirt unless there's something Dolphins worthy. And guys, round of applause for number 54, Zach Thomas, fucking finally making it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Congrats.
Zach Thomas, no one deserves it more than you. One of my all-time favorite Miami Dolphins. Tickets go on sale at some point. Looking, might be going to Canton to watch him get enshrined. Dude, Zach Thomas, congratulations.
Congrats.
You earned it, brother.
Yeah.
You earned it.
You saw the video?
Of course I saw
Yeah,
it.
who didn't see
Jimmy
the video?
Johnson meeting him at the house. Fucking
And he's
beautiful.
like, no one's more
It's
deserving.
fucking beautiful. I had no idea how much I cared about Zach Thomas getting in. I knew I cared. I
Yeah.
knew he fucking deserved it and should have been in years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Until, like, I was watching the NFL Honors Show, and I was like, oh, man, he's not getting in another year. This is wild. And then I saw Jimmy Johnson on the stage. And before he even started talking, I was like, DeMarcus Ware already got in. This isn't another Cowboy. Jimmy Johnson in the Hall of Fame. This is Zach fucking Thomas. And I, like, jumped up as if it was the fucking wild card game and Zach Sealer was getting a scoop and score off of Josh Allen's sack. I was like screaming at the TV, like, there we fucking go! Whoa! There we fucking go, Zach!
Yeah!
It was bananas how into it I got.
Oh, well,
I
he
had no
deserves
idea.
it.
The emotion just overcame me, and I was like, oh, this is how I'm reacting to Zach Thomas getting into the Hall.
I mean, he's one of those iconic names in football.
He is. I think... I mean, obviously, he's a Hall of Famer. There's 11 of them on the Miami Dolphins, but I think obviously one of the greatest Miami Dolphins of all time. There's nobody like Jason Taylor got in.
Yeah.
I didn't consider going to Canton.
Yeah.
Zach Thomas, I'm like, I'd like to go. That'd be really cool. Dan Marino, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go to Canton. Watch him throw a pass to his fucking son. No, I don't care about that. Zach Thomas, I want to be along for the ride.
Yeah.
54, Zach Thomas.
Good for you.
Go get him. All right, guys.
Oh, my God. Is it time?
Oh, it's movie time, baby.
Oh, my God. Time to get small or big?
I mean, I always go big.
Oh,
You know
that's right.
me, I always go big. Guys, we're doing Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Quantumania.
It didn't disappoint.
No.
Yeah, at all.
There's a lot of mixed reviews right now, and it's still early because so today is Sunday. It's the ending of the opening weekend.
Real quick, there will be so many fucking spoilers moving forward.
So many.
If you don't want, I get it. If you don't want spoilers, I would have been pissed if
there was no
if I heard
warning.
some shit before I went.
Yeah.
If you don't want spoilers, goodbye. It was great having you. I
come
love
back.
you. Come back later.
Yeah.
Come back. Go, you guys. You have a whole fucking.
This is
a whole archive of
Yeah.
5-6 Kings episodes to go back and watch. Go back and listen to. Go check it out. You're gonna love it.
But when you get done, we're here to relate. There's a lot to express, and I know you're gonna wanna hear what we gotta say, because we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. We're gonna get into all the shit, all the fun, all the hate. But there was a lot of fun and hate reviews about this movie. How do you want to get into this?
I mean, I'm gonna let this be your baby.
Ugh.
I'm gonna let this be. Yeah, you're the one. I love Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get as into it as you do.
Yeah.
This would be like we were talking about the Dolphins or a fucking wrestling pay-per-view. I'd be like, let Daddy take the reins. But
Daddy.
this is you.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. There was a pretty good amount of reviews right now that are kind of hating on it. I feel like the reason being is the indifference with some of the ways that they ended up taking it, especially more towards the end. I think a lot of people came into this thinking that there was going to, like, almost expecting a certain outcome, expecting a certain story, and then maybe not getting exactly what they wanted. So I feel like maybe that's why there's some, I don't want to say bad reviews, but somewhat like, more negative reviews.
That's why with Marvel, you got to kind of just smash your expectations of what's going to happen.
Yes.
And just be excited about what's going to go on.
And this is the beginning of Phase 5. So a lot of people, Phase 5.
Phase 5, profit.
Yes.
Phase 1, we collect underwear.
Oh,
Phase 3, profit.
yeah. Got to get profit.
Yeah.
There's no profit. There's no point. But I don't know. It did a good job at opening up not the universe, but the multiverse. And that's what's supposed to be a lot of Phase 4. But the main point of the multiverse is Kang. And we get introduced to Kang in this film. It is much a Kang film as it is an Ant-Man and the Wasp film.
100%.
Yeah.
At the end, it did not say Ant-Man will return.
It did not.
It said Kang will return.
It did say Kang will
Which, if
return.
you're familiar with Marvel, like at the end of the Thor movies, it says Thor will return.
The Avengers will return.
Sometimes it says what he's going to return in. The end of this, it said Kang will return.
Yeah. So this movie is just to set up everything that we're going to be seeing in the multiverse. We've gotten little bits of it from Multiverse of Madness, the Spider-Man No Way Home, but now it's really starting to get into the nitty-gritty of, especially with Loki too. Loki, first off, gotta say, best MCU show, best Marvel show that's out or has been out.
Hands down, 100%.
Loki season 2.
It is the only Marvel show that I watched.
Yeah. Well, I've watched the other ones.
It was incredible.
It was incredible. And all the other Marvel shows do not come fucking close. Well, I actually will say I did like Daredevil.
She-Hulk?
No, I fucking hate it. Well, I didn't want to say I hated it, but it just wasn't that good. But Daredevil and The Punisher
Bray
were
was just
both
like,
pretty
ladies
good.
can't be Hulk. We all know that, all right?
And what's crazy
Hulk
is
Edward Norton and nobody else.
nobody.
All right? Fuck Lou Ferrigno, Mark Ruffalo, this chick. None of them. It is Ed Norton.
Yes.
Every time.
Every time.
That's what Braden's his words.
Yeah. But what's crazy is she's big. She-Hulk is big. Now that we're getting on
All right,
She-Hulk.
let's not talk too much about She-Hulk.
But she's like 6'6", and they're like, can you imagine any other woman out there that's like 6'6"? Like, oh, some fucking
I'm a
shit.
monster.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's scared of me.
Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. So yeah, any woman that plays for the WNBA is just She-Hulk now.
There we go.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's better than what they were. You know?
damn straight, David. But no, so I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a fun ride. I thought they did a great job at setting the stakes high, but at the same time, not making it 100% full circle without like giving anything away in the beginning, but still being able to set up everything kind of moving forward. And that's a very generalized sentence. But
let's not. There's going to be spoilers. We
Yeah.
didn't take notes. We just saw it in theaters. Let's not try to let's just say whatever.
yeah. So they do have some ratings online, David. Did you know about this?
I mean, I assumed.
Yeah. Well, when I find it,
We're in for a treat when you find it.
yeah. So don't worry, I found
When
it.
I find it. Oh, you're in for a treat.
So IMDb gave it a 6.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 47%. Fandango gave it an 84%. And them Google users give it an 85%. That is mind fucking blowing to me, dude.
This is nonsense. 47% on Rotten Tomatoes.
47%
Thor: Love and Thunder
got a higher
got
percentage.
64%.
Because they're smoking fucking crack.
It's fucking nuts.
The lowest...
Guys, Thor: Love and Thunder is a bad movie.
It's bad.
I love Thor.
Yeah, me too. Who doesn't love Thor?
Thor, one of my favorite Avengers. You know, he's up there. He's in the top 5.
And this
of
is
my favorite Avengers, you know? Love and Thunder was a bad movie. I thought this was good.
Yeah. And what also really kind of hits the nail on the head is even Chris Hemsworth is like, listen, unless you guys do something better with my fucking character moving forward, I'm not playing him anymore. I swear to God.
Good.
He literally was like, after Love and Thunder, you guys have like literally disgraced the fucking character.
I mean, Thor just got more and more silly.
And that's what
and not funny. Like,
exactly, and that's what he was saying. He's like, my character is just like
so like you shitting on Hoff for liking Fat Thor so much, making Hoff look like a piece of shit. I disagreed with you then, because Fat Thor, it was objectively funny.
Yeah.
We can agree on that.
But there's...
And if the resolution was not he became a comedy act for the rest of his movies,
Yeah.
would have been great.
It-
This fucking depressed god who fucking killed Thanos but is still depressed about it because he lost everybody. Like, if there was a rebound where Thor... And the Endgame had it. He was a badass in Endgame.
Well,
with
and
his
Infinity
fucking
War,
axe
he was
and
bad
all that
as
shit.
Yeah.
But he was sad in Endgame, and then
In the beginning,
then
yeah.
he came back for
Yeah.
the war at the end and was awesome Thor. If Love and Thunder was more of that and less of this weird love triangle with his weapons and all that fucking nonsense, it would have been great.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, if you're
Good
gonna
for Hemsworth.
if you're gonna do these ridiculous, yeah, exactly, and if you're gonna do these ridiculous character arcs that aren't even beneficial and doesn't even actually help your Thor, the character, get rid of the first 2 movies, because you made him up to be a serious character at the end of these movies that he has now grown and become Thor, the fucking god of thunder. But now all of a sudden he's like this silly character. So like save those movies then till after Infinity and Endgame, and now you can give him the proper character arc to where he kind of like rises out of this. But instead there's nothing, and that's what he feels too.
For sure. Good on him. Hopefully they're not like, okay, well, goodbye.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're like, okay,
Yeah,
we'll fucking make this character better, because they can.
they have to.
They showed that they can make him great.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people are worried about too, even with someone with Ant-Man. But Ant-Man's supposed to be more comedy-based because of Ant-Man, you know.
And that is my one gripe with Ant-Man was at the end they tried to squeeze just too many jokes in.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
Where like they were funny jokes.
Yeah, they
but
weren't
it was kind of like,
Well, you're
all right,
offsetting.
we get it. You're doing too much of it.
and you're offsetting.
There's comic relief, and then there's just we're gonna drown you with a bunch of jokes.
And I think the biggest thing is you're taking away from these other moments, this other energy and emotion that you are building up through these scenes. You're building the suspense, you're building the care, the why, but then you kind of just like take us out of that for a small little joke that falls a bit short, but then also takes us out of the other moments that you're trying to still build up. So I feel like that's another reason why people ended up being like feeling a disconnect with this movie a bit, was because of little things like that. But the overall film I thought was fun. It was a wild ride. Like they're saying, like it's sci-fi. It's different. Like you're going to be entertained the entire time watching it. But I could see how you might not feel fully satisfied at the end. But that doesn't mean it's a bad film. You know what I'm saying?
And also, like, they're setting up, like...
Exactly.
Avengers, Kang Dynasty.
Did you think this thing
Avengers
was gonna be...
Secret Wars, like...
That's
Like, we're not done with Kang. They weren't going to have this resolution where it's, okay, it's done.
Yeah. Which is actually funny because...
Like, anyone who went into this thinking, oh, this will just be the end of it, they're going to kill the bad guy, and that's going to be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
They've released what the other movies are going to be.
Yeah.
We know Kang's going to be a player. And exactly. I was very curious how they were going to go about, because take Thanos. We didn't really see him until Infinity War. We got little teases of, oh, Thanos is coming. Okay, that'll be sick. But we didn't see him until Infinity War, and he's fucking up Thor and Loki and the Hulk. And you're like, oh, this guy's sick.
Yes.
Kang, they're just like, yeah, whatever. In 3 years, we're going to get more movies with him. Here's what he's doing right now. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to show him. It's not. It didn't disappoint.
Yeah. And there were times where, and you know, we'll get into it more, that I wish we would have saw a little bit more about Kang, maybe a little bit more about the past, maybe a little bit more about...
You went to the bathroom during a part. She was making his ship with him, and it runs on his mind.
Yeah, and
the ship does. She touched it, and she saw what he did in the past.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you're a fucking monster. And he was still like, come on. Hey, he's like, hey, you helped me. You saved my life. I made a promise I'm going to take you home. Come on. And she's like, what are you going to do once you get me home? And he's like, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't let
so
you
I
do
read
that.
up
That's
a little
nuts.
bit on that. So that's not just the past, but that's also potentially the future.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. Which is... And this is, I want to get into all this because I love this shit, dude.
I don't love, that is one part I don't, they exiled him, the other Kangs.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
the other,
this dynamic is what I love.
First thing, they exiled him, but they left him with the ship that could potentially get out of there.
Yeah.
Why?
Pretty silly. Yeah.
Why? Yeah, you just take the ship, put him there, no ship. And, like, he lucked into her being there and helping him build it, but that happened.
But that's one of my things that they should have showed us a little bit more past stuff about Kang. Because
But
they could have showed him, like, being exiled, and he jumps into his ship last second. They fucking do some power, and they just send him, and he's just, like, in it. You know, where it just kind of happens where you're like, okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could do these things where we don't have as many questions. There's, like, a few couple little things here and there.
Avengers Kang Dynasty comes out in 2025.
Probably we'll see it, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, they got plenty of time to show us.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Exactly. Should we just kind of, like, get into it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've just been getting into it a little bit.
But should we just kind of, like, go from the start?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
okay. It's all you.
So, I mean, guys, we open up, and, you know, basically it's just bringing us... full circle what's going on. So we see Janet Van Dyne. She's the mother of the Wasp. And, you know, obviously we saw in the last movie that she got brought back from the quantum realm, and we open up to actually seeing her in the quantum realm. I'm guessing when she first got there, and we see her look up, and we see, like, what is... like a fucking meteor coming through the quantum realm, and it just like lands. She runs over, sees what it is, and she just starts getting attacked by quantum creatures.
These like dog-looking things, and she fucks them up pretty easily.
Yeah. I don't know what she's got. She got like a fucking gun that could shoot them. But she ends up getting saved by, you know, one more that's coming at her from Kang.
And so Kang it's the same, it's He Who Remained.
Yeah.
In the end of Loki.
Jonathan Majors, same actor, but different from Jonathan Majors. The
Whatever,
Kang
it's the
from-
multiverse. You
but
get
it's a different Kang. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I don't think we need to describe like who Janet Van Dyne is, and that there's different Kang. If you either don't give a fuck and you're listening because of how fucking entertaining we are, or you watch the movie.
Yeah. So and then it just cuts back to Ant-Man's life, and we kind of see like how now he's being appreciated. They sum a lot of little things about
a good steering wheel that doesn't whiff out my hands while I'm driving. That's a good idea, and I stand by it.
Yes. But we see Ant-Man.
The guy in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Have you seen that sketch?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy in the coffee shop from Ant-Man.
Yeah, but he.
Yeah.
I'm quoting. He's in a sketch on I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson.
Oh no.
Where they're in a car focus group. And it's like, what are some things we should have for the car? And people are like, Bluetooth, speakers, fucking whatever. Like, they're having, like, real things. And
I've seen them before.
And he goes like this. He goes, a good steering wheel that doesn't fly off while I'm driving. And he goes, all right. And then, like, they keep going. He goes, a great steering wheel that doesn't whiff out the window while you're driving. That's a good idea. And I stand by it. And he's like, yeah, no, I put it on. He goes, oh, nice.
He seems like the perfect actor for lines like that.
He is
some ridiculous sideline.
Honestly, we're pausing this. Braden's watching the focus group. I'm pulling it up on my phone. Guys, we're close enough.
Yeah.
For editing purposes, we're going to take a break, but stick around. We'll be right back. And we're back. Hey, Derek Jeter. Fuck you. Ah! You flinched. I flinched. Now you got to marry your mother-in-law. It's great. It's a great sketch.
Yeah, great sketch. Yeah.
It's great. He's perfect for it. All right.
Yeah.
He's in it. He calls him Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And doesn't make him pay for coffee.
Yeah, but we're seeing, how people are, reacting to him on the street. We're seeing his life. He's buddy with the FBI fucking agent that was trying to...
He wrote a book. He's a hero. Everyone fucking loves Paul Rudd. Who doesn't?
Exactly. But what I do love is how fast they summed up all this other shit from the other movies that we don't really give a fuck about and we don't even need to care about in this movie. So they get right to the nitty-gritty.
They sum it up. Daughter got arrested, so they go pick up the daughter. Daughter fucking runs jail. All the cops fucking hate her because she's just a know-it-all. She fucking turned the cop car into a little car and gave it back to him. They feel pathetic. So when they pick up the daughter, she's going on about... She's just kind of like complaining, and as she's complaining, talks about how she has a suit... Which Ant-Man's like, what the fuck, you got a suit? And she's like, all right, yeah, sorry, I got a suit. And she's just talking about how she wants to, be a good person. And because she's a good person, she ends up in jail like her father did. Because her father wasn't a bad guy. He was just a criminal who knew how to steal from bad people and, like, give it. So she's, like, going through the same shit. And it's a little connection between... And the Wasp is basically the wife. They're not, like, married, but they're together, and she is technically... They're fucking.
They're fucking, but she's technically the mom as well. So they're like a little family now, and we get that little dynamic.
They have a dinner with Michael Douglas and his wife.
Yeah, and immediately we understand that Janet... which is the older mom that, from before that got brought back last movie, she does not want to talk about the quantum realm. She definitely has something that she is holding back. She's too vulnerable to talk about. And
then they're like, hey, we got this thing in the basement we want to show everyone.
Yeah.
And they're like, check it out. We're communicating with the quantum realm.
You didn't fucking know? We can map this shit out. We know everything now. And what's crazy is they're like, and you know what? Your daughter built it. In a basement.
She did it.
Not me, a super genius, which is the fucking the grandpa, Michael Douglas, or Janet, or even Ant-Man's supposed to be...
It was the daughter.
Yeah, it's the daughter. Which and she says something ridiculous. I actually did not like this line. She says, if only I had this when you were stuck there. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? You were like 10 years old when that happened.
If only. She could have saved some time.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what you didn't... I didn't like how they minimized the fact that he saved the world.
Yo, yeah. He was like bragging about.
They're like calling him a sellout, saying you stop caring. He's like, I saved the fucking world. And they're like, yeah, why don't you write a book about it?
He's like, all right.
Yeah, like, fuck everyone but Paul Rudd in this movie.
He said something like, I should have left you guys dusted, which I love. There's a lot of quick little funny lines in this movie. They do a good job. But as she's showing how they can map out the quantum realm,
Janet freaks out.
She freaks the fuck out. And, you know, for reasons that we don't know why, because she won't talk about it, and she just shuts off the machine. And the moment she's about to start explaining what happened to her in the quantum realm, a small little blue ball comes up, and they have no idea what it is because it's completely different than the other thing that was being projected, the map essentially of the quantum realm, and it just starts sucking them all in. So within like a minute, they all get sucked into the quantum realm. We see them going through layers that we come to find out is like different universes, different worlds that are just in different layers of the quantum realm.
They all got sucked in.
Yeah, but and as they're going through these layers into the part of the quantum realm where they can like live essentially, or like where there's a city and shit like that, they're getting saved by Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is like the mother, father, or the grandparents and the daughter. Yeah, so when they get to the ground,
Paul Rudd and his daughter are separate from the other three.
Yeah, from the other three. And at first it was the Wasp and her father, and we see that there's like this spaceship. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And they're like, we should be dead. Why the fuck aren't we dead? Like, we could breathe.
Anytime we had seen the quantum realm in other movies, it was fucking...
Yeah, like they had to be in a suit.
It was like floating, like microorganisms. And now it's like, what the fuck is going on now?
How can I breathe? How can I survive? And this spaceship just starts flying at them, and it's like projecting a blue beam on the ground, trying to obviously like look and scan for people. And then Janet runs over and hides them behind like a fucking quantum realm tree. I don't know what to call it. Yeah,
tree.
Yeah. And it doesn't scan them. And immediately, like, they kind of go back and forth, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and how do you know what to do? And she basically stops him and was like, listen.
She says, be quiet and trust me. They're like, no!
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Hit me with it.
That would have been you in this scenario.
Yeah.
She's like, be quiet and trust me. Like, no, fuck you. I'm not trusting you.
Yeah.
Tell me what the fuck's going on. This is crazy. She's like, you really got to be quiet. You're like, no, I'm not going to be fucking quiet. You're going to tell me what the fuck's going on right now.
And what pissed me off is they spent almost as much time as it would have took to explain what she was actually going, like what to expect, as it did for her to be like, listen, you need to trust me. Don't say a word.
Because this is all the dance, Braden.
I guess you're right.
Janet's got to be in power. That's the dance we're doing. All right, we're dancing.
She does have that kind of...
We're dancing, all right?
You get that kink little...
That's not... No, she's got to be in charge.
Yeah.
She's in control. It doesn't be kink.
I don't think it's...
Everything don't got to be sex, man.
I'm just talking about, even the relationship between her and Hank, which is the...
Yeah, it does... We don't got to make it sexual.
We're going to get into it again.
What, you going to put strap on and fuck her daughter?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah, like that's you're making the power dynamic with her and the yeah, she's got that like kinky thing. Like, no.
I'm just talking about her.
She's got to be in charge.
Well,
Everyone needs to fall the fucking line and let Janet quarterback this shit, all right?
You're right. But I'll get into it more in a little bit.
Who took down Roger? New guy, Hoy.
Yeah. Here, what did he say? I know he calls it a bitch, but what did he say?
Hit me the bitch.
Yeah, hit me the bitch.
Yeah.
Oh man,
give me the bitch.
Give me the bitch.
So now Ant-Man and his daughter,
they're walking through and they have no idea what's going on. Ant-Man calms her down. She's kind of freaking out a little bit, and the moment she gets calm, they're kind of walking through. She notices a sun. She's like, "Is that sun moving towards us?" And they kind of like look at it, and all of a sudden this sun just fucking releases tentacles and expands, becomes like a big sun. And then Ant-Man's like, oh, I'm gonna do some fucking superhero shit. He gets big and starts wrestling with this fucking sun, and it's got tentacles around him and lifts him up in the air, and he
fucks the sun up.
Fucks the sun up. The moment he thinks, he's like, oh, I fucked that sun up. That was pretty cool. A ginormous microorganism.
Nope. What's it called?
I don't know.
In fucking Jurassic World. What's the thing? The swimming dinosaur that eats things.
Oh, the
Colossosaurus?
Yeah, I think it's the Colossosaurus.
The fucking Colossosaurus.
No, that's the big
comes up and
T-Rex.
eats
It's
it.
something. It's kind of like Megalodon, but it's not that. Megalosaurus.
Keep talking about other shit.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
And so this thing starts coming after them. To me, it looks like a big microorganism, and it's fucking coming after them. And all of a sudden, we see this big yellow beam just like hit it like in the chest. You're like, what's going on? And the thing kind of just like disintegrates. And then we look back, and there's people in the quantum realm, and some dude who has like a light bulb for a head. Mosasaurus.
It's Mosasaurus?
Yeah, Mosasaurus. The one you're talking about is the big T-Rex.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying a different
yeah,
name.
I know. I'm saying the name you were
Yeah.
saying was the big T-Rex.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mosasaurus.
Mosasaurus
Yeah.
eats the sun.
Yeah, it was wild. But some dude with a light bulb for a head shoots him with like electricity or some shit. I don't know what to call it.
Whatever.
Yeah, microorganism.
And then they drink the ooze.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so they bring him back, and now it's like a big village kind of thing where it's like, and you're like, what are these? There's all these different types of, people that are not like, there's like a human you can kind of say. There's a couple of them.
Brayden leaned into me and said, "This isn't Wakanda, is it?" I said, "Dude, stop. All right, this is fucking crazy how racist you are. Stop it."
There's all these different types of creatures. No one knows what the fuck they are. I'm not even going to begin to try and describe them. One looks like a fucking piece of broccoli, which we find out in the next scene. But bunch of different types of organisms that we have no idea. And they're in like a village kind of scenery where they're all getting around a fire and they're all chanting.
His daughter yells, "Dad, drink the ooze."
And she's got red
drink
shit.
the ooze. There's fucking red shit all over her mouth. She's like, "Dad, drink the ooze."
First thing I thought was, if my mom was here right now, she'd be like, you see, this is their Satan worshiping bullshit, and they're
There
just
we go.
showing you
This
straight
is
to your
fucking-
face. They're drinking baby blood.
Is Hollywood just showing it to us right there out in the open?
Boom.
We're all gonna be surprised.
Yeah.
We're all
just,
surprised when monsters like Jeffrey Epstein.
they're just desensitizing us. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he drinks the baby blood, and then he can start to hear all the other fucking
he can
people.
hear everyone is then it sounds like English to him.
Yeah. So they can.
Before it was just noise, and now that's what the ooze is. It makes
And
him hear.
There's this like red blob alien thing.
He ain't got no holes.
He's got no holes.
No fucking holes. Not one hole this guy has.
Not one.
Most people got holes. This guy's got no holes.
Found out we have 7 holes. And I had to count.
Which isn't true.
Well, if you think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then your pee-pee hole. 7. But they're not like technically holes.
They're fucking eye holes.
I guess.
All right, I'm the eye hole man. Only I get to have eye holes.
Well, I guess if you lose an eye,
Get up on out of here with my eye holes.
Michael Bisping's got an eye hole. Can you imagine if he got he reached out to me. He was like, "How fucking dare you?"
Does he have an eye hole?
He's got one eye,
Yeah, but
so he could take out the fake eye.
it's a fake eye.
Yeah, he could take. He's got a
Okay.
video of him taking
Hey,
it
do you
out.
know how many people with one eye I've worked with
Oh,
at
shit.
the same job?
Sorry,
No, it's real question.
that's what I'm saying. Sorry for, let's say 3.
Yeah.
Ah, look at that 3.
How fucking nuts is that? How many people with one eye have you fucking met?
I don't. Maybe 1.
Yeah,
I can't,
3 is a fuckload.
Yeah, all in one area.
I've worked with all 3 of them.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
Did it happen at
One
work?
of them was a fucking chef. He was great.
Oh man.
It's fucking nuts. 3. 3 one-eyed motherfuckers.
If anything ever happened to the food, do you let him know?
Blame
And
when
do
we
you blame
replaced
it?
him with a chef with 2 eyes. I just always for like a full year just commented on how all of his food was twice as good as the other guys.
But with one eye. So it's twice as good, but with one eye. So if he had 2 eyes, I mean, it'd be like quadruple as good.
When we hired someone with 2 eyes.
Oh, it was better.
I started saying that his food was twice as good.
Oh, I get it. 'cause
Yeah, that was the joke. Yeah,
another eye.
he had 2 eyes,
So it's double.
So he had twice as many eyes as that guy had.
So
his food was twice as good.
Get it now?
Yeah,
Shit. Well, hopefully
Yeah.
that guy's not watching.
I don't think he would care.
Yeah.
He'd care more about you being in his fucking girlfriend's DMs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us. What can I say? I'm gonna look like a piece of shit after this episode.
You are just the way you said that.
I know. That's
You
what-
could have played that so different. Instead,
But
you
I
went.
went into-
Instead, you went like smug and arrogant
Yeah.
about it.
Just like, what the
to a one-eyed person. You're like, hey, no hard feelings, right, bud?
Yeah. How would Ant-Man play it
Yeah,
off?
you went the worst way you could have. You could have done anything else and it would have been better.
Yeah.
You went, and sat back, too. Everything about it was just shitty.
Yeah.
God, you're a fucking awful person.
It's
You're the worst.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
But you know, all we could do is live and learn. And all we do have room for is to grow. It's kind of worded wrong, but you get what I'm saying. It's all we got.
I mean, I hope you start growing because you're kind of the worst person I've ever met.
That was like the Ant-Man last line of the book, right?
I don't give a fuck.
Fuck, Dave. I'm trying to make a reference here,
Yeah,
dude.
but fuck you, all right? Sit in this, all right?
Bask in
You
it.
shitty person.
I smell it. I smell the hate.
Yeah. Fucking awful, man.
So where the fuck are we
So he
at?
drinks the ooze, and then there's a guy who can read minds, and he keeps telling him to. He's like, "Hey, quit thinking that, Paul. It's disgusting. Stop it."
Yeah.
The guy who can read minds. He's like, "Stop." He's like, "Dude, we get it. You want to fuck your daughter, but she's your daughter. She's a minor. Stop thinking that. I don't want to hear that shit."
Yes.
And he's like, "Yeah, I know. I know you used to change your diapers, and you got to see her pussy.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus Christ, David.
like we get it. All right, stop it. Yeah, you wonder what it looks like now. That's understandable. Stop it. Fucking stop it, man. He's
Yeah.
like, I can't. All right, that is all I think about. All right, I can't stop.
Why don't you just let everyone
He's like,
know?
you have to. All right, because now she knows.
And his head always bings every time it glows.
Yeah.
Bing.
Yeah.
Bing.
It glows like he's like reading the mind. So whatever, a lady shows up and she's like, "Get these people the fuck out of here. They're human."
Fuck these people.
He is gonna fuck them up.
And they're like, "Who's he?"
You're like, "Yeah, don't."
He's the one from above.
They're like, you don't worry
just
about
like
that.
you.
All right, and when he's gonna fuck you up when he finds out that you're here.
Yeah.
He probably already knows you're here. We need to get you the fuck out of here.
Leave. And then they
Yeah.
turn around and they're fucking here. Kang and they're all there.
So no Kang.
Well, we don't see Kang, but
We're
they're
not,
like,
we're not Kanging and banging.
yeah, we're not Kanging and banging yet. We always got some Kanging. We ain't Kanging and banging yet, though. But Kang's basically army, whatever you want to call him, is there, and they start fighting. And immediately, Army Girl, she kind of like runs the rebels.
She's sick. She's
She's-
fucking people up. She's got this like spear thing, and she's just fucking everybody
I would
up.
love it if like Native Americans were like, "This? Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna represent our people like this?" Because I mean, it was definitely Native American vibes.
Was the actress Native American?
I mean, I don't know, but she's got face paint that's like red and goes across. I don't know. She looks Native American-ish.
They prefer to be called Redskin.
Yeah,
Come on, Brandon. It's 2023. Wake up.
yeah. And
They
she
want to be called the Washington Redskins.
who doesn't?
That's what I've come to find out.
Yeah. But she tells Lightbulb Head that to get everyone out.
Get everyone out of here and wait for the signal.
Yes.
That's what she says.
Yeah. And
We then meet. Okay, so hold
Well,
on.
right before this-
we got to backtrack way
just
the
a-
fuck up.
a little bit.
Yeah, good bit.
Yeah. Well,
They fucking, what's her name? Janet. She knows people who know people.
yeah.
She fucks a dude up, and then everyone laughs about it.
She
and he
cuts the arm
and
off.
He regrows, and they all laugh, and then they hug.
Yeah.
It was like Rick and Morty when they show up at the immortality place.
You
and
know-
him and the guy kill each other.
Yeah,
That's what it felt like.
Yes, and it's they're, you know, and it's funny because Rick and Morty, especially Rick, is adapted from Kang, but now Marvel is stealing shit from Rick. It's just a funny bounce back and forth because they got Rick from Kang, like that was the inspiration, but now the stuff that they've been doing is inspiring stuff that now Marvel is doing. I don't know. I just think it's a funny back and forth kind of
Yeah,
thing.
but is it?
Well, just like little things.
I
not
never read
overall.
the comics. Like
I never read the comics, but I've looked into
Rick and Morty
it.
could have been stealing everything from Marvel.
They stole a lot. So even like the Council of Ricks, the whole
All them Kangs.
yeah, the whole
Yeah.
whatever you call it, where the council is, like a lot of little premises like that, they definitely stole. But like little things that we're just talking about now is
Yeah.
stuff that they kind of created. But
So she did that with the guy to get an animal that they could fly to some restaurant.
Yeah. So they end up at the restaurant, and they do the same thing. They get some drinks where they can understand each other.
And they meet the best person you could have possibly met at any restaurant at any given time.
And it's
Bill motherfucking Murray.
Oh, my gosh.
The star of
Yeah.
Osmosis Jones.
And he got there
plays
quick.
Frank. That's everyone's inside his body.
Yeah.
In Osmosis Jones.
fucking-
It's his body. They're all in there.
What a movie.
What a fucking movie.
And they're like, hey, listen, Bill Murray, we want you to just be a slob in this movie, right?
And he's like, done.
Dude, I got KFC
Done.
on the way.
You think- I'm Bill Murray. You think I can't be a slop?
Are you fucking
I will
kidding me?
slop. Let's slop him up.
I got grease right
Let's
now.
slop him up. I'm fucking Bill Murray. Bill Murray.
Ah,
He's Bill Murray.
Yeah.
He gets a couple yucks in there, and you're like, that's Bill Murray.
well, and he does such a good job at being Bill Murray. Because,
Right.
like, he's always got that Bill Murray.
It's you either got that Bill Murray in you or you don't.
You don't.
Unfortunately, neither of us do.
We don't.
It's a fact of life.
But they did in Quantumania.
Some got it, some don't. Bill Murray got it.
And he immediately shows up. Because they were like, yeah, we want him to show up. And he showed up within a minute.
Boom.
Like,
And he's like, hey, Janet. Long time no see.
oh, my God, you must be Hank. How are the ants?
he's
We got
like-
ants here?
Yeah, oh, man. Man, it's you. You got ants. You fucking love ants, you little ant guy. You
No
fucking,
ants.
that's your shit.
Yeah. He just
Ants are your fucking shit, aren't they?
Yeah, I bet they
You know
are.
I was fucking your wife while she was down here?
But those ants.
Forever? Yeah. Like, we fucked. It was great.
Oh, so great. But those ants must be pretty cool.
And he starts talking. So Bill Murray and Janet were rebel fighters together.
But they did a bunch of wild things that Bill Murray emphasizes wild 3 times over.
Oh, dude, fucking 69, bondage.
Hank's like, oh, wild?
You name it, they've done it.
And Bill literally goes, Hank, wild.
Bill Murray would have Janet dress as Hank and peg him from behind. Like they went as wild as possible.
And an ant.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I want you
he's
to
like, Andy,
show me these human ants
I want a
you
fucking
keep
ant.
telling me about.
Go. But basically, they were rebel fighters together.
And they used to fuck.
Bill Murray eventually gave up, and King made him a lord
Yeah.
of some area.
Yeah.
And
So
he's like,
basically,
Kang, he is very persuasive. He doesn't say Kang, just him.
yeah.
He's very persuasive.
Build up that.
They wanted to meet with Bill Murray because he'll know where Paul Rudd and Cassie are.
Yeah, because he used to basically run the rebel group that we just saw, and probably even more.
He runs this shit. He's the suave smooth of that area.
He's fucking smooth. That's one
fucking
thing I'll
running.
give him. Yeah. And
Suave smooth.
Suave smooth. Yeah, he's
Bitch,
very
I'm from Palm Beach County. It's for them gangsters and them thugs.
love that shit.
No?
God, Suave, you're just a dream come true.
You're the best.
Yeah, he really is. But so they're he's playing kind of like flirty, and she's kind of like not like overly playing into it, but just like allowing it, just so she'll get help from him. And before they know it, he's like, I'm not gonna help you guys. We're gonna go talk to Kang himself. All right, all of us.
Yeah, he said, Kang, I know they're here. Kang already knows, and he sent the hunter. And they're like, the hunter? And he says,
A mechanism only for mechanism.
a mechanized organism designed only for killing.
Yes.
So I looked up because I watched a thing that was like, what do I need to know going into this?
Yeah.
And it said MODOK.
Yeah.
MODOK is such a badass.
Oh yeah.
I love what they did with MODOK.
And you know what? Everyone has been talking shit about that.
Yeah, whatever, because they're fucking nerds.
That's what I'm saying.
Who like, read the comics and they're like, there shouldn't be MODOK. It shouldn't be MODOK. Same nerds were like, Ultron should have had more movies. No, he shouldn't have, all right? Ultron had to be an awesome villain, but to get us to Thanos.
No, yeah.
Like, fuck you, Ultron.
Yeah. In a way, he did live on for an extent. We got more movies than what you think because of Vision. Vision is essentially another Ultron. Yeah.
They're like, it's fucking bullshit.
Come on.
Yeah. Fuck those nerds.
Yeah, nerds. Now everything's like the comic books, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in a different era.
But, so they fight there.
Yeah.
And they get on a ship and they leave and they raised hell at the restaurant.
But Hank he gets the last laugh because he takes one of his sizing fucking disc and he throws it at a drink. He perfect toss because he throws it in a drink that has this other little organism in it.
Bill Murray ate it earlier and said, "Don't eat this. If you've never had this, don't eat this unless you want." Did he say you want your life to change?
Yeah, you
forever?
want to change your life.
Change your life forever.
Yeah.
And you can hear like the thing is screaming in his mouth, and he just fucking crunches it.
So Hank throws this sizing thing inside the drink, and it makes this thing super big, and it just grabs Bill Murray. And the last thing we see is Bill Murray probably about to be eaten. We didn't see the mouth or anything open, but
That's a shame.
yeah,
a shame.
I wish we did see him get devoured just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
Maybe not fully digested, but
Yeah, but
nibble.
But the devouring portion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was other army people there.
Yeah, they don't matter.
They don't
fucking
matter.
Nothing.
But they get into what is
A spaceship.
this? Yeah, but it was what's his name? Spaceship.
Bill Murray's.
Bill Murray's spaceship, and they got to drive it through with this alien
These things
goob.
grab your hands, and
It looks like a
Michael
sex
Douglas
thing.
drove
It looks sexual.
It did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like
Sexy
a.
thing's gonna grab
It
your hands.
looks like a vagina toy, right? I mean, I don't have a vagina toy, but if I had a,
Oh, I have several. I have several.
but if I had to design a little vagina toy,
You do that?
it would look like this.
All right.
You know, especially when they move around on their own. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
yeah. Would be pretty cool.
If they
So
can move around on their own, that would be like an added
That's what I'm
feature.
saying.
You're making big bucks. Then.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I assume that would have to go for like fucking over 1,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least $1,000 bucks, but could be worth it. Yeah.
Found a coin.
Tell me.
It was inside my quarters. I got a
Ooh.
roll of quarters because I got to fucking pay for laundry where I live. It's
Yeah.
nonsense.
Quarter guy.
Yeah. And inside it was a little gold coin with an angel on each side. And I've looked it up, and the price range varies from holy shit, that's awesome, to hey Chase, why the fuck are you slipping this in there and making people think they're fucking quarters?
Yeah.
This bullshit.
So it's like either like a cent or like $10,000.
$17,659.
Sheesh.
What was that? I can't imagine. I
Yeah.
can't imagine that.
Gotta
happened.
go get it graded. Watch.
Yeah.
The moment you go get it graded, the guy's gonna be like, this is actually really shitty quality, but I'll give you $1 for it.
Yeah, and I'd be like, no, thank you.
Yeah, because he's gonna fucking
Yeah.
finesse you.
Yeah. There's.
The moment you walk away, he's like, "This fucking idiot."
I wouldn't sell it to the coin guy if he offered me. He would have to offer me so much money for me to sell it to him. If he was like, "I'll give you $500 for it," I would say no.
Yeah. Now it's like
I'd be like, "This has to be worth so much more than $500."
Yeah.
If he's like, "I'll give you like $10 for it," I'd be like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. If he's like, "I'll give you," honestly, I don't know that I would sell it to the first guy. I think that's the rule.
You gotta.
That's the rule, no matter what he says. If he's like, "I'll give you $17,659," I'd say no, thank you.
I have to go check, but I might be back.
Yeah, maybe that's the best offer.
Got to play it
We'll
smooth.
see.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll see. Yeah, maybe I found an awesome coin. And you know what's great? I almost like my fucking sleazebag mind was like, well, fuck, I can probably put it in the machine. Like, it'll probably still gonna, like, it fit in the roll of quarters. It'll probably go in, and I'll still be able to run the dryer with it. That was my first thought. And then I was like, I've never seen this. Why don't I look and see what this is? And I was like, yeah, I'd feel really stupid if I did this.
Just threw $17,000 possibly down the drain.
So I could,
Just because you're lazy.
so I could dry my clothes.
Yeah. Dude. So, fuck.
So now we're back at Paul Rudd. They're flying off. We're back where Paul Rudd and his daughter are, and MODOK shows up and starts just fucking everything up.
Yes. And that's when main Native American girl tells Lightbulb Head to get everyone out of there. Washington Redskin woman girl tells Lightbulb Head to get out of there. And yeah, MODOK comes and he's so fast, powerful. We forgot to say one other thing. They have these ships that are also buildings, but they're alive.
Yeah.
So they know what to do, I guess. Like they don't need to be told. No one has to get in and like press a button. This thing is like, oh, they're here. Let's get in. Get into my belly. Get into my belly.
They fly off. That was Paul Rudd said his.
They also shoot shit.
Are your buildings alive? And the guy goes, oh my God, are yours dead?
Jesus.
Your buildings are dead? That's horrible.
That's the same red dude that gives the ooze. Yeah,
he's
no
holes.
Great.
Not a fucking hole on him.
Not a hole on him.
Not one.
And I love his body structure, and I love the way he walks. So whoever the VFX artist that did the dude with no holes.
You saw the names.
Great
Name them
job.
all right now.
There must have been 10 teams of VFX artists, and each team had like 200 to 300 people.
Yeah, name them all. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Paul Rudd, which was your favorite VFX artist?
So MODOK shows up and he's like, "Oh, we meet again, huh?" And he's like, "Meet again? What the fuck's that mean?" And then he
starts to explain his backstory, and they're like, "Darren."
Yeah. So it's
I love that part.
Yeah, the guy from the first one.
Hold on. You're going to explain the backstory that we all know? Darren? Just like cut him off. I love that. And he's like, it's not Darren anymore.
I am MODOK. And he's just a big head.
With his little arms.
Like fucking sick looking.
I actually loved it.
Yeah. It was just a fucking, like, it's his face. It's Mike Prince in Billions. If you're watching this or listening to this and you haven't seen the first Ant-Man movie, he's Mike Prince in the show Billions. Yeah. Very good.
And I love that they brought him into this film. One, because they're making it that character, which has that tie with Ant-Man. But two,
so good.
The fact that it's this type of film where, yes, it's serious, but you have Ant-Man that gives us a little bit of comedic relief, where you have a character like this where it's kind of ballsy in a way for any, even if it's like a superhero movie like Marvel, to do like a character like this, you know what I'm saying? Because it can either go one way or the other.
Oh, for sure.
And if you're going to introduce this type of character, I think it's perfect that you introduce him with this comedic kind of relief Ant-Man kind of movie.
Sure. And he was still badass. Like we were like, okay, he's fucking cool and he just killed all of those people.
Yeah.
It's got the comic relief. And, like, I love that it wasn't just, oh, here's this new character.
Yeah.
That's been down here forever. It's, no, you fucking remember when Paul Rudd launched him into the quantum realm?
Yep.
Well, Kang found him, and he put him together and made him the perfect weapon.
Yeah.
That's what MODOK keeps saying. He's like, I am the perfect weapon of war, or something crazy like that.
Yeah, he's got so much built up.
He's fucking livid.
Yeah.
So
which builds to it, because it's like, well, why would this MODOK character care? Like, why would we care that he cares? And it just makes it just simplifies it so quick and easy.
Yeah.
So I do like that
he's
they did
been
that.
wronged by everyone he's going to come across here.
Yes.
Yeah. For editing purposes, we're going to take a quick break, guys. Stick around, all right?
We'll be
we
right
got plenty.
back.
We got plenty more.
Oh, yeah.
And we're back.
Hello.
Hey, Derek Cheater. Fuck you.
Sorry.
MODOK is bringing them to Kang.
Oh, yes.
He's like, let's go see Kang, baby.
Yeah, it's Kang time.
Woo! Puts them in these fucking prison cells and he explains.
He's like, now we're face to face. And Ant-Man's like, that's a face.
That's a face and a half right there,
fucking
man.
huge face. And then says something about his baby legs. And I love it. MODOK's like, these aren't fucking baby legs. Are you fucking kidding me?
They were baby legs.
They are baby
It
legs.
was, I mean, dude, again, stealing from Rick and Morty. Baby legs, Detective Baby Legs.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, Chief, I don't need no regular leg partner. I'm fine just the way I am.
You know what would be great? It'd be so great if, like, Paul Rudd or the guy playing MODOK was like, oh, I got this great ad-lib. And just didn't realize that he's just stealing it from Rick and Morty. Yeah. Oh, my God. I wonder how the creators Rick and Morty feel after watching this.
They probably feel like beating the fuck out of their wives. That's probably they're like, it's your fault. It's your fucking fault.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you knew I was going to say that, right?
Yeah,
you knew I wasn't going to be like, oh, probably
that
upset.
All right, so don't we cut from here, and then we go to
whatever the other people? They're just trying to get to where they get to eventually. None of that matters. Fuck them.
Yeah.
And everything that happens.
Yeah.
Kang is there now,
Yep.
And he tells, it's actually very important. Janet, we're back to those people that I just said what they're doing doesn't matter. Janet explains to them how she met Kang.
Oh, yeah.
And she helped him. He has a ship that can go throughout the multiverse.
It can go anywhere in time, also.
Different time periods, anywhere in time. It's a fucking time machine that can jump to other realities. She's like, it is the fucking most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my fucking life.
And that's supposed to be kind of like the powers of all Kangs. Not saying they all have this ship. The ship might be different, the technology might be different, but that's supposed to be like the main power, especially in the comics, for all the Kangs, that they could travel the multiverse and travel to any time, which is also how Kangs end up getting their power, their technology, because they travel to different time periods, especially even more so, which is what this Kang says too, to the end of time, for one, to get their technology, but two, to kind of figure out how they want to live out their lives or how to control life and the multiverse, because they see the end, which is something he kind of gets into.
So they get to know each other, they build a relationship, and she helps him build his ship back.
Yes.
And like they were there for like years. It took them to build it together.
Yeah.
So like she talked about Hope and getting back and wanting to see her, and he's like, I promise you, you're going to go. She's going to open the door and you're going to be there.
Yeah.
So like he made an emotional connection with her.
Yeah. And the part of this, it's not just the ship itself. It's this one part of the ship. It's like this little
Core.
Yeah, and that's
It's like
the
a little ball.
I think
the
they
core.
call
They
it.
keep calling it the core.
Yeah, the crystal core, I think, is what it was referred to as in the comics, and now they refer to it just as the core in this. And that's basically the main power source that drives his ship that can make him travel to any point in time.
So we find out the ship also, like, he runs it with his mind. It's hooked up.
It's literally
somehow
connected to him.
So he envisions where they're going, and it goes there.
Yeah.
And as she's putting it away, she's seeing inside his mind, and she saw, and we touched on it earlier, she saw what he's done, what he plans to do, and it's fucking rough. He's killing everybody. And she, like, stops and looks back. She's like, get back. And he's like, you saved my life, Janet. Then I made you a promise that I would get you home. You can still go home. And she said, and what will happen if you leave here and you bring me home? What will you do? And he just goes, I'll win. And she's like, you can't. So she grabs the core and runs out, and then Kang follows her, and he's, like, fucking her up. She realizes, I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
So what does she do?
She goes miniature. And then she makes the fucking crystal core miniature. And then she starts flying away. And he goes rage. He goes, rah! And everything fucking explodes. Their little, like, hut area just explodes. And he just goes, zoom! And it just, like, this fucking power hits her. And she can't fly anymore. Her suit basically doesn't work anymore. And
this is what I meant when I said, what does she do? Yeah.
Huh.
What does she do now?
So then she grabs... She grabs, there's 3 red and 2 blue, and they're different size things that they, whenever they go big or whenever they make something go big or small, this is like the things they use.
They fucking know. Come on.
Yeah, you're right.
And if you don't know, go fuck yourself. Go watch the movies.
But she used 5 of them and just smacked it on there, and then the thing goes humongous. So the power source is now like 20 times the size, probably maybe 200 feet.
It just fucking blows up. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, and then so we see a bit of Kang's power too. He makes a force field around himself, and he's trying his hardest to withstand basically the blow from the power source, and it sends him and his ship fucking flying, but he's okay. He's still good. I don't know if there was a line here or if it was later, but it was in reference to like what he's gonna do. And yes, he says he wins, but I don't know if it was then, but it might have been then or a little bit later where he's talking about like he says in like in a generalized way, he's like, it doesn't matter. Like all these people's lives.
He says it later.
Later? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Later. It doesn't matter. Whatever. We're talking about now. She said how many trillions and trillions will die. And he says, Janet, I really wish that mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
fucking, you're like, ooh.
But
that's
shit.
shit.
The reason why I wanted to touch on that is because that is huge. into the perspective, not just for the way Kang sees stuff, but the way we're going to be going into these other parts of the phases, like phase 5 and phase 6. It's going to be a lot about that fucking line, what he said right there, because he talked about and touched on, he saw the ending. He saw the ending of time, and that essentially it's like the Council of Kangs is trying to control one timeline. But to control that one timeline, basically all other timelines have to basically be destroyed. So that's why he's trying to say, like, I wish it mattered. But you don't, like, and this is the really cool when people are talking about, like, you know, what the future of the Kangs and everything like that. There is what do I call it? There's a
That it's a black guy playing Kang?
No.
You kept saying, wow. They went black, huh? You're like, I wouldn't have done that. This is interesting.
But as to
Like, I would have had Josh Brolin just do Kang.
yeah, right? Such an iconic voice.
Yeah.
Might as well just keep it going. No, well, Jonathan Majors does great, but they're kind of talking. Now I'm gonna fucking butcher it, but they're talking about like what's gonna end up coming and happening in the end. So then he's trying to essentially be the good guy.
You really felt the need to be like, oh no, Jonathan Majors is great. As if that was as if really you kept saying, wow, it's
There
weird
might
that
be
they went black. And Josh Brolin should have done the same. Should have done this character too.
Well, obviously I was joking about that, but like
you never fucking said that,
huh?
Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
I said it. I made that up for you, and you felt the need to still be like, well, Jonathan Majors was good.
well, yeah. I was.
Jonathan
I knew you were
is
joking
still,
about that.
Jonathan Majors is still great. Let's not take anything away from Jonathan Majors here. You know, he did his role great.
He did.
He was a great Kang.
Josh Brolin is great too, though, man. It's hard. It's hard to trump that villain. But they're trying to show like, oh, and this is what a lot of people are trying to write online, is that these Kangs that we saw, one in Loki and then in this, might actually be the good Kangs, and that the Avengers are fucking up by killing these Kangs. These Kangs should have stayed alive, and you should have helped them do what they're trying to do, and by killing them and fucking up them, now it's like now you're going to reap the wrong reward, essentially. Like you're kind of fucking yourself over.
I like it.
And that's what I love too. It's creating this crazy
Do people
dynamic.
not like? Is that part of the like? This is dumb. You could be killing the good Kangs. Why would you kill? It'll make for a better movie.
Oh, much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to realize that they fucked up, like, we should have just helped those Kangs. Like, yeah, trillions would have died, just like Janet said, but we would have stopped quadrillion zillions from dying if it was, because of what the council is going to do in the end. That this Kang has seen the end and knows what's coming, so that's why he feels he has to leave here to stop the Council of Kangs from doing what they're doing, which I love.
Love it.
Love
it. So this Kang still feels like a bad guy though.
Yes.
Where we're at in the movie.
Yes, he is.
He
still a
shows
bad
up
guy.
and he sees Paul Rudd and the daughter, and he tells Paul Rudd he needs him to help him get the core. And
yes,
if he doesn't help him, he's gonna kill Cassie. Cassie's like, "Don't listen to him, Dad," and he's like dark about it. He's like, "I'm gonna kill her and make you watch it over and over and over again while you beg me to kill you."
By far one of the best lines, dude, in fucking Marvel, and that seems like a stretch, but there's nothing I love more than realism, and that's as real as it gets.
Yeah,
like if you're a conqueror and you're supposed to be like the villain, that's a real villain conqueror fucking line.
I'm gonna kill your daughter in front of you and make you watch it on a loop
until
over
you
and
beg
over.
me to kill you. That's where he stopped. Until you beg me to kill you.
It's kind of like when Mike Tyson said, "I'll fuck you till you love me, faggot."
Yes,
It's kind of like that.
It is just like that. Man, it'd be great if that was his ad lib, and they're
That
like,
was.
we like it, but we just need to tone it back.
We need
just
you
a-
to not say that. Not
just not the faggot part.
yeah. Not come on, man. We're owned by Disney.
Jonathan Majors is like, well, Mike Tyson did it. look what happened to him.
Look at him, man. He lost all his money. He's living large.
But he's got a cool podcast now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's great.
Oh yeah. Not good enough for Cosmot. Saw that.
No, but
Fuck him.
I mean, Would you have wanted to listen to Mike Tyson and Kazmat Chimaev?
I
can't
probably
imagine.
listen to a clip.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I guess you're
Fuck
right.
them. All right.
So we're back.
Guess I'm right. You know I'm right. All right.
All right.
You fucking know I'm right.
Okay.
It's gonna be entertaining. Yeah. I fight.
I beat your best guys.
Yeah. I beat them all. what else you got for me?
Yeah, that would be the extent of the fucking conversation for sure.
Fuck all of those fighters.
Yeah.
Volkanovski won.
He did win.
All right.
Gee, oh my
Yeah.
God! Don't
Let's
even get
not-
me started.
We're getting the Quantumania crowd, and they're gonna be like, "Come on, this is fucking nonsense."
yeah.
This is why I've never heard of these fucking people.
So MODOK feels the need to speak up at some point.
Bad mistake.
While Kang is talking, and he sends him with a flick of a finger.
And so he did it in a scenario like when I'm going on a rant, and Braden's like, "Yeah, tell him." Oh, tell him. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Tell him. That's what MODOK was doing, and Kang did what I would love to do every fucking time Braden does that. He's like, "Oh, tell him. Yeah, don't hold back. Don't hold back. Let him have it."
And with like a flick of his finger, not like physically, but like because of technology, like he has technology that can control everyone in the building, essentially. And
The Force.
literally the Force.
Yeah.
Does that to Ant-Man, does it to his daughter, but sends MODOK into the corner and says, "You do not speak when I am in the room," which is another great line.
Power play.
Back to back, great power lines by Kang, and basically gets Ant-Man by saying, "I'm going to kill your daughter," to do what he wants. And then he gets out and he says, "Don't touch her again." He's like, "Well, then you're going to do what the fuck I want you to do."
He's like, "Whoops."
Like face to face. Yeah, and King's like, Did you not remember 2 seconds ago when I sent you packing?
Let's go.
Yeah.
They go. It's a nightmare out where they are. Cassie hugs him and says, "Come back. I love you."
One cool thing I want to say is King opened up a literal fucking portal.
Yeah.
And they walked into another area of
And
the
they
quantum
walk
realm.
out.
Yeah.
Kang goes right down there. You're gonna fly down there. You're gonna shrink down. The core's down there. You're gonna shrink it. You're gonna give it to me.
Yeah.
And MODOK says, "Don't stay down there too long because it's literally
It's going to break your mind. Yeah.
tearing your mind to pieces while you're down there."
And then as Ant-Man jumps off, they're on like a ledge. As he jumps off and he's like diving into it, he's getting smaller and smaller as he's doing this. As we see that happening, we see Janet, the Wasp, and Hank. They're flying up in that spaceship and they're approaching that same ginormous core that Ant-Man's jumping into.
So everyone's at the same spot now.
Yeah. And as Ant-Man's jumping in, or when he lands, he's like, "All right, Darren, what do I do?" Darren. MODOK.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. What's up?
He's ignoring him while he's calling him Darren. And then he says,
I love that.
MODOK. And he goes, "What?"
what do you want? He's like, "Well, what do I do now?" He's like, "Shrink the fucking center like
Yeah,
we
he's
talked
like,
about."
"Do it.
And then
Do the court thing. I don't know.
Yeah, what did you want me to say?
And then another Ant-Man joins out of him. And he's like, "What the hell? There's 2 of me now." And MODOK says, "Yeah, we told you getting to the core was the easy part." He's like, "You never said that." Fucking said that. It was never said.
And he's like, "All right, well, this is basically what's happening around this core is probability. It's like a probability thing that they called it, where every possibility of yourself is going to play out in this moment." So
then a testicle monster showed up because he fucked with time.
Oh yeah,
You fuck with time? He makes him wear like a collar thing, and he's, "I'm gonna take your ass to time jail."
yeah, another Rick and Morty. Yeah, hey, that was fucking great. Oh, see, you built this. You thought you could fix time with this?
Oh, you fucking dumbass.
I fucking love it, dude. Can you imagine that shit?
He's like, "I know your dumbass didn't get this shit legally."
So you thought you could fix time with this? So basically, he starts like
One of them's a Baskin Robbins version.
yeah. There's thousands of them now, and one of them gets big. And we see the core, and it's a bunch of rings that is very similar to the Shang-Chi rings. And they're saying that this is the same technology that Kang has with the rings that Shang-Chi has, but that's also from the Celestials, from the Eternals. So that's supposed to be like a big play of them all having this crazy technology.
And see that one.
That's
'Cause,
kind of
I don't like I don't like that chink shit.
yeah.
You know me.
You can't blame you.
You forced me to watch two of those movies when we did the Kill Bill movies. There will not be a third.
Oh, David. So many chinks died in that movie, dude. Quentin Tarantino's
Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough.
What the fuck was I going to say?
Braden, like you always say, all right, you say it every fucking day. The only good chink. Say it.
I don't know what you're going to say.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. The only good chink is a...
Dude.
So people are listening to this, watching this right now. They're like, it's horrible, but they're saying it. The only good chink is a dead chink. You say it every morning. You shoot me a text. You're like, hey, David, just a reminder. And then you got a busy day, but always remember, the only good chink is a dead chink. And I go, Brayden, you got to stop doing this, man.
I also say a real sushi lady.
I had a real sushi lady make a real sushi sandwiches.
With a real sushi sword.
There we go.
But so
he's down there.
Ant-Man's down there, and well, the first Ant-Man that goes big gets chopped up by all the rings, and literally his body parts fall in front of him, and the Ant-Mans are like, we're all gonna die. So they all start freaking the fuck out, but they all start running towards the rings, and a lot of them are like dying off in like weird ways.
Whatever. The bunch die, but then he starts hearing Cassie's voice saying, Dad, just come back.
Yeah, and he's at the bottom of now this like ant pile pit, and he's like about to be like
ant pile.
dead. Yeah,
Ant pile.
it's
Ant
a little.
pile. Come
yeah.
on, ant pile.
Yeah.
Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Change an attic pit. It's an ant pile.
And he's at the bottom of it, and then he hears Cassie's voice, and basically
all of the other Ant-Mans are now working toward a common goal. And
yeah, and they're all saying
he
basically the
rises to
same
top,
thing.
like,
So
go get her.
yeah,
Go fucking get her.
which is great. So this is a reference from the
Top Gun.
no. The Ant movie. Where the fuck the Ant movie's called from?
Ants?
Pixar. Yeah, ants. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they make the big giant ant.
It's just ants.
And remember though, they make the big giant ant line to.
I remember nothing from the movie Ants.
So I'll explain the ending to you. So the ant pile starts.
Well, don't ruin it. What if I want to go watch Ants later? You're gonna ruin Ants for me.
Well, they make
by ruining the ending.
They make a big ant line and they fucking succeed. Whatever. So it's the same thing with Ant-Man. He gets brought to the top. The moment he goes to shoot the core, he shoots it, but it just doesn't break through this core part, and they all get doubtful. So the whole ant pile falls. And as they're falling, who shows up? The Wasp. But there's like thousands of her too because of all the possibilities. But when they connect hands.
And this is when I grabbed the kid's hand next to me.
Yeah.
I told Braden, there was like a 12-year-old kid sitting next to me, and I told Braden that I held his hand for about 40 minutes of the movie, and he didn't say a fucking thing about it. And Braden was in. Braden was like, that's nuts!
That is great.
I was like, no, I didn't do that, man. That's crazy.
But just like David and the kid, the moment that the Ant-Man and the Wasp connect hands, they just know for certain what they need to do. Yeah. They just know for certain that they just need to live and love.
They throw a bunch of the things at the core, and it shrinks. And then everything blows up, and they end up in the desert with the core.
Yeah, and it's back to the little ball again.
So now Janet's there. Michael Douglas might be there.
Mm-hmm.
And Kang shows up.
Yep.
And Kang walks up. Janet's like, they're all like, hey, Paul Rudd, give us the core. And he's like, no.
They have He has Cassie.
He has Cassie. They're like, I promise we'll get her. You can't give him the core. And then Kang shows up, and he's like, I wouldn't trust her. She changes her mind a lot.
And immediately changes his mind on the deal. He's like, I'm not going to give you Cassie. She'll be fine with me.
And that's not what he said.
He did not say that.
She'll be better without you.
Yeah, that's what he said. Which is better.
And then he said, are you going to give me the core, or do I have to take it? And then he just opens his hand, and the core flies out of Paul Rudd's hand into Kang's.
It's like, well, if it's that easy, you might as well take it.
Yeah. Paul Rudd and the Wasp, they go small.
Oh, they try to fight him, and he literally
as if they were real bugs.
Yeah, just
fucking
flicks them, and they go flying against the wall, and they're down for the count.
Michael Douglas wasn't there. Michael Douglas was in a ship,
Yeah, he was flying the ship.
and MODOK fucks him up. MODOK shows up, and he's like, Darren?
Yeah.
And he's like, I am MODOK!
Grabs onto
And
the
starts
ship.
fucking the ship up. Ship crashes.
And the MODOK sends the ship flying. He's like, oh, fuck you. And the moment Janet sees Hank flying away, and you're like, oh man, that thing is crashing hard. Janet's running over, and Kang just stops her in time. He's like, stop.
Stops her. So she's frozen.
And he opens up a portal, and they walk through. It's very similar to the portal that Thanos used to open to enter. But that I thought was from one of the Infinity Stones. So I wonder if there's some harness of power from one of the Infinity Stones.
I mean, you watched Loki.
Yeah, they have all
Infinity,
the Infinity
Stones don't mean shit, apparently.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's been able to harness somewhat of their powers if they're that meaningless in a realm that he created. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Because
he's
created
he's
that.
just better than that.
Yeah. That's what
The
I'm saying.
Infinity Stones harnessed power from whatever Kang's got going
Yeah.
on.
Kang created him.
Does that.
Don't
and
quote me on that.
He, like, puts his... Oh, he holds her hand. And he says, this is where you left me to die. Let's see how they do. And then they walk in through the portal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a little early, but I think it's a good time for editing purposes.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break. But guys, don't go anywhere.
We'll be
We got plenty more Quantumania coming at you.
Oh, so much.
So stick around. And we're back.
Hello.
Hey, Derek Cheater. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fucking bitch. All right,
Guys,
smart ants.
Smart ants. So we hear Hank basically describe to everyone else how he's
Bro,
been...
they were getting fucked up by something, and then ants show up.
Yeah.
There was, like, creatures that were fucking up Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then, like, some fucking ants show up and fuck up the creatures, and Hank's there.
Yeah.
And he starts describing his ants to them.
Yeah, and he basically found out that the ants ended up in a time dilation in some part of the quantum realm. So they've been able to advance over like generations and like I don't know how many years they said, but it was like decades and decades that they were able to advance through, because we saw in the beginning that these ants that he was helping them, you know, fucking evolve, were creating their own technology already. So over the next 100 years, their technology exponentially fucking increased so much that now they're at a point to be what is, he said, a type 2 civilization, which Michio Kaku goes into. He's a fucking physicist or some shit, and he was saying if you're a type 2 civilization, you can literally travel from like one planet to the next. You have control over fucking physics. Like you are literally able to travel the universe, and you're fucking smart as shit. So these ants are more advanced than humans now in the Marvel universe, but they're in the quantum realm that Hank ended up finding, because he goes over, and we see this as Hank is in the quantum realm. He keeps fucking with some earpiece. He's got like a hearing aid, but it's really him connected with the same hearing device that the ants have, or the technology. So he kept hearing the ants, and then ends up finding them and seeing their civilizations, which we see really quickly how advanced they are. And you're like, holy shit, this looks futuristic as fuck, which is kind of funny.
And now they all get on a ship, and they're like, let's go. We got to find where Kang brought Janet.
Yeah, so now we're at Kang's like main office area.
It's like it's on a ship at the fucking crazy city.
It's
that
giving
he built.
me more. It's giving me Darth Vader, Star Wars vibes.
It was giving me like Halo.
Yeah, but like different.
The fucking, what were the
Yes.
the king aliens called?
Yes, I forget what you're talking
It's
about.
giving me
but
like those vibes.
yeah, I get what you're, the aliens that you're talking about though. Yeah, It's like-
Prophets.
yeah, and it's like gold and like modern, futuristic looking. Like it's nice. And he's sitting in that same. What do you call it?
Chair. I don't
Chair,
care.
ship.
Yeah.
It's a ship, but it's a chair, and that's like floating in it, and he's sitting in that. And what are him and Janet talking about? They're like going
He asked
over
Janet what she saw when she saw his mind.
That's right. And she was just talking about all the and that's what I was saying earlier. She was talking about all the trillions she saw were gonna die, and that's when he was like,
He's like, I really wish that mattered.
which like we were saying before, I love that because it builds
then-
the dynamic of what's gonna happen.
He has his whole army set up, and he's like, I built an army.
And I'm gonna take them with
Yeah.
me.
You should have let me leave when you had the chance. Meaning, like, I'm going to fuck up so much more shit with all of these soldiers that I've conquered.
Yeah.
And they're going to fight for me. He then, like, projects himself everywhere in the
It's a
fucking
big
quantum realm.
Yeah, it's a big projection of him.
And
He's giving a speech.
history is not written. It is etched.
Forged.
Or it's forged. Damn it. It is forged. And then Cassie cuts in. Oh, she broke out the Washington Redskin.
Yeah, she did break up.
She broke her out of jail. There was a whole thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Cassie's on the loose. She broke her out, and then she, like, hacks into it and gives her own speech. And she's like, hey, we can fucking beat this guy. Everyone come to the city. Everyone come here. Let's go. We're going to take him down at the tower. Let's go.
And now we've seen this in movies a million times. So that
Not
wasn't...
once.
Oh, we've seen it a bunch.
Not once.
Ready Player One.
Nope. Different. That was a video game.
Yeah, but it happened.
Yeah, it was a video game. It's different.
so like, but I didn't care about that. I was just a little disappointed in the writing of the speech because the writing of the speech was a little...
Because there was just so little, like, racial tension
Yeah.
in the words she was saying.
Yeah, exactly. It should have been more.
She was more uniting than dividing. And Brayden didn't like that.
I
He's like,
did, yeah.
She should be making the races hate each other.
And it's like, I've heard this before. Like, what do you think these people are going to
Playoff-
fight because of this?
She's like, Kang's black.
Come on.
Like, this is perfect.
There's no
What
one
is-
else.
Why is she not bringing
Actually,
that
there's
up?
one other person that was black. Never
Why
mind.
is she not bringing it up? The other black guy can read minds.
Yeah.
This is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring up race.
Come on.
Race war.
Woo!
Brayden was screaming it in the theater.
Yeah, people were looking at me.
Yeah,
and
people were like,
so-
hey, knock it off. But people start going, and now Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas and them, they all know where to go.
Yes.
And they said, he's going to see us coming. And Paul Rudd said, oh, I'll make sure of that.
Oh, I'll fucking make sure. And he goes super size, but as this is happening, daughter is being chased by MODOK. MODOK shows up and starts like killing some of the people she freed, but then she distracts him by like running in the opposite direction.
She has a suit on, by the way. That's
Yeah.
why she's good. at
Yeah,
stuff.
she keeps going big to small, so
Big to small,
MODOK
small
is
to big,
having a
you
hard
know?
time hitting her. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And the people that she freed, they leave and they escape and they go and free more people and kind of like round up.
And they're fighting. It's a revolution, baby.
It's a fucking revolution because they get the rest of the people to also show up, which is perfect fucking timing. Because they were like
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
We're not. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
He's humongous, and he just shows up and he's like, Kang! You gave me your word! And
Our word is our bond.
Where's my daughter? And he's just stomping
He's
on buildings
fucking
and
up.
knocking shit
Oh,
over.
my God.
And Kang's like, I mean, this is kind of nuts, man.
Yeah. And MODOK's like was about to kill his daughter. Was like literally like nowhere else to run, which is great because he shot the floor in front of her. It's like just shoot her.
Yeah.
Just shoot her.
Like, pew.
Yeah. But
He's
it,
like, all right, now look at how big he is.
yeah, had to build the suspension, which the line right before, which is funny, the line right before that, he goes, nowhere else to run, and your father's not around. Not like that's anything new. One beat, and then all of a sudden it's him, Kang! And MODOK's like, holy shit, that's big.
So Cassie then got small and ran, and then she gets big, and she fucks up MODOK.
She goes Hulk style, like Hulk did to Loki, and grabs him and fucking flings him back and forth and just leaves him in like a pile of metal. And then MODOK's like, where are you going? We're still fighting. And she runs back up. She's like, where you going? We're not done. She's like, what do you mean? Stop this.
She's like, just stop it.
Just come on.
Stop trying to be whatever this is.
He's like, what am I?
What should I be?
Yeah, what should I be?
And she's like, just quit being a dick. And he's like, but I am a dick.
I am a dick. It's all right. That's a funny
and
line.
she leaves.
Yeah, she runs off.
Paul Rudd and the Wasp are fucking things up. There's a rebellion going on.
And there's like 1,000 ships now fucking fighting them, and they're starting to have a bit of trouble. And all of a sudden, the rebellion shows up, and it's all the building ships that are alive, and they're shooting down all the other fucking Kang ships and stuff. And Ant-Man, while he's still big, is trying to now there's a part of Kang's ship in the city that turns into like a giant ship, and these rings start moving around like his main ship. It's kind of hard to explain because it doesn't look like a main ship.
You explained it earlier. You said the things.
But it's like a ship inside the city.
Whatever.
It's really big.
Whatever.
And there's
Go look it up.
But there's a big force field that's starting to form around that as well. And Ant-Man is trying to stop the force field from like fully developing before they like shoot off and escape the quantum realm. And he gets flung the fuck back.
So then he gets small and he gets on Wasp's shoulder and she's flying up quick and she launches him and right before he hits it he goes big.
And like throws his feet into it
and just fucks it up.
and breaks it.
Sick.
Yeah. And King's like, fuck, this is not
Broken.
good.
The guy with no holes gets shot and he gets a bunch of holes and he's stoked and then he sucks everyone in.
He's like, I got holes, and then the fucking people
Starts sucking them in and devours them, I guess.
And yeah, he devours them. He starts jumping up and down. He's like, yeah, and everyone's like, yeah.
So the war's going on and then Kang comes out.
Oh, dude.
And everyone who isn't Ant-Man the Wasp or Cassie is like, well, what the fuck are we going to do?
And what's great is that whole rebellion was running down the same strip, basically just towards Kang. And the moment that Kang's like, I can't escape this place, I'm going to war.
When he knocked down the force field, it blew up like the room that Kang and Janet were in exploded.
So Kang got like a little hurt, but not enough. Like his suit and his technology and everything is fine.
But that was like, he realized, I was like, all right, I got to fucking fight. Let's go.
And now I might not be able to escape the way that I had planned with my army and everything. So now I'm going to fuck them up. So he goes out and he meets the rebellion, and we start to see a bit of his power, and it's pretty dope. He is just evaporating people, like literally disintegrating them. And they're gone.
Rebellion's falling back, getting the fuck out
They're
of
like,
there.
fuck this.
Everyone except for Ant-Man and
Actually,
the Wasp.
I think it's right before this. Right before they show up. Isn't it when Native American girl and Lightbulb
So
Head?
they start falling back. Lightbulb Head dies. Who cares?
Yeah, but that was pretty cool. That was pretty.
Washington Redskin.
That was pretty graphic without it being
Yeah,
graphic.
He shoots the shit at him, and Kang catches it. And
But the
then
way, like,
shoots it back in his thing.
and then like the light bulb fucking like builds up and it explodes. And you're like,
Yeah,
wow,
sick.
Feel bad for that guy.
Sick.
Native American girl can't believe
Washington
it.
Redskin.
Washington Redskins girl can't believe it. She gets the fuck out of there. And now Ant-Man and the Wasp and daughter is there.
They're fighting, and they're kind of holding their own.
They're holding their own a little bit, but Kang fucks him up.
winning.
But there's a point where Kang kind of like fucks up the Wasp and Ant-Man, and then the daughter grabs him, and she gets big, and he fucking explodes. She goes small. Like, whenever he does something, there's a part of his power that fucks up their suits and the suit's power. So then daughter gets small again when she was big, and this is probably one of my favorite parts of this entire movie. Ant-Man gets pissed off and he goes big, and as he goes big, he throws Kang like into the side of this wall of his like ship and just punches him like 3 fucking times, and it is like the most nitty-gritty punch, but like powerful punch we probably have seen in Marvel, dude. I mean, that shit would probably send the Hulk fucking flying. I mean, I don't know about that, but
Yeah.
probably, I don't know. Like,
How about when Thanos is just fucking up Tony Stark?
yeah.
Iron Man, like, knocking the suit off.
That's what I'm
like,
saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. It was a dope ass punch though.
Yeah.
And Kang felt it, but then he's smothering and he goes, "You son of a," and then Kang goes, "Ah," and fucking just once again his power makes Ant-Man shrink back down to size. And he starts giving kind of like a speech. He's like, "I'll fucking dare you.
Matter? You think you matter? You think this is my first rebellion?
You talk to ants."
Come on. I'm putting cases on all you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay. Shoot program, bitch. 23-hour-a-day lockdown. King Kong ain't got shit on me. I run shit around here.
Yep.
Y'all just live here.
And
And then 1 million ants show up.
1 million ants. Another Rick and Morty reference show up.
And they like kind of swarm them. He puts up a force field.
But they're not just ants either. They're super
they're the ones,
technological.
they're the ones we talked about.
But
we
if you
talked
look
for minutes about these ants.
But if you look closely, they're doing like cool things. One ant has a thing in between its like fangs that disintegrates people. So he like runs up and just like touches this dude with it, and it disintegrates like in between the fangs. And now there's big, ginormous ones. They're taking down ships. They're taking over these fucking towers, and they all have laser beams on their head and shit. It's nitty gritty. And they go to Kang, and Kang sets up a force field, and he's having trouble just keeping them out the force field. They're like slightly getting through.
And then MODOK comes in.
Oh yeah,
and says, my name is Darren, and I'm not a dick. And then explodes the force field.
Yeah.
The ants just swarm Kang.
And you see him, they're biting his technology, and his technology is like sparking and shit, and he literally gets carried off.
Kang's
and you're like, what?
Yeah. You're like, that's nuts.
That's nuts.
They run over to Darren.
Well, Darren says too, he's like, I think you were right, Cassie. I think I am a dick.
And I forget what Ant-Man says to him, but his response is,
like, Darren.
He goes, thanks, Scott. You always were a brother to me.
Which
is great.
Yeah,
Which is great.
loved it.
Their only interactions in any of this movie was him trying to... It's not like there was like, oh, they were close and then they fought. Like, they only fought, and Darren tried to kill Scott and his daughter, and then Scott sent him into the quantum realm.
Yeah.
And he's like, you always were a brother to me.
Well,
like,
and
but hey, at least I get to die an Avenger, right?
and they're like, yep, yeah, you made it.
Absolutely. He's like, yep, you're in.
And he dies. But it actually made sense that he said and did that stuff. Reason being is because he viewed Hank as his father, like a father figure, and then because of that.
But it's insane.
No, it's insane. But we found out from the first movie that the technology he was fucking with was actually making him go insane.
Yeah.
So he wasn't technically like, as a normal human, like an insane bad guy. It was the shit that he was fucking with that made him like mentally unstable, and that's why.
Sure.
Yeah. So
But
that's
yeah.
so like he must have came out of the mental instability for a second to be like, oh, this is actually how I feel.
No, this is still very mentally unstable of him.
Yeah.
To say that isn't normal. They weren't
guess.
brothers. Yeah, that's still mentally unstable.
But he
It's
might
all
have
still,
viewed him as it.
Still, no, it's fucking yeah. That's still mentally unstable. It doesn't make it normal. Because that's what he perceived doesn't make it normal.
All right, I guess we
Yeah,
felt it
it's
differently. But it was a funny moment. There's a couple times where you're like, oh, the movie's over, and it doesn't.
So now Janet is like, hey, I'm up in the ship. I can get us back home. Get the fuck over here now.
She somehow knows how to fuck with it.
Yeah, whatever. It makes
Yeah.
sense. She explains it. Sounds right. So they get there. They open up a portal. Janet, Michael Douglas go in. Janet, Michael Douglas, and the Wasp go in.
Yeah.
And then Cassie and Paul Rudd are about to go in. Paul Rudd like
notices something.
Notices like a blue flash. Just shoves Cassie in.
And then he gets sent fucking packing.
Yeah, it's Kang.
It's
Kang's
Kang.
trying to get through.
So this is my one, like, the hate online I think is ridiculous, but this is my one little thing that I have against this movie. It's not even the fact that Kang got away from the ants. It's just show me. Just show me like a quick little thing of him just going like,
Show
"Bah!"
him, brah,
and it just
blow
like
him up.
explodes and he
Sure.
like runs off or something. Like,
Sure, but like they've at least it's believable that Kang
it is
would
believable.
Get away.
I'm just saying I wish
That's at
wish
least
you would have
it's
showed
not
me.
like oh no fucking way he
no,
would have
totally.
Yeah.
I just wish that we would have saw just a smallest little quick scene
Yeah,
of it.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
They fight and Kang is just fucking Paul
Oh,
Rudd
he's
up.
and I like this because this is like one of the only real fist fights that we get in the
Yeah.
MCU where it's like straight up just fist
Yeah.
fighting.
And Kang's beating him up and he's like, I want you to know that you could have ignored it.
Could have lived with your
Yeah.
daughter.
You could have been with your daughter. Instead, you're gonna die here. And like he just keeps fucking him up and he's like, you can't win, Scott.
And Ant-Man's
And he
like,
goes,
I don't need to win.
I just need us both to lose.
Yeah.
And then Wasp comes through and like fucks up Kang.
And
they fuck him up a bunch and they send him into a thing.
well, it's the core reactor. It's the
Yeah.
it's the main power, that core that the whole movie was based around. We see that it got fucked up just a little bit from when Ant-Man fucked up the whole ship. It got sent over to that area, and then when the Wasp was shooting him. He like bounced into it, and Ant-Man hit him one last time. That bumped him back into it again, and it just kind of blew up, and it sucked him in, and he was screaming, and basically he dies.
Yeah, he blows up.
Yeah.
And so the portal blows up as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that because my first thought was, oh, how are they going to get back?
Yeah.
And then Cassie just opened, like,
She's
Cassie had the thing on the Earth side. Why would that not still exist?
And she explained it
Yeah.
in the beginning. She's like, this is how we would have found the mom and stuff.
Cassie
and
just opens it opens, and they're like, let's go home. I was like, oh, yeah, that totally would happen.
Yeah, but it was a good little moment too, because in filmmaking wise, they were able to capitalize on that little moment of overlooking the rest of the world. So we see that the quantum realm is in good hands now. Everyone's happy and peace is on the rise, basically.
Yeah. So now they're back, and it's a funny, oh, life's great. I missed birthdays. We're having fake birthdays for Cassie.
Yeah.
The dude from I Think You Should Leave realizes that he's not Spider-Man, he's Ant-Man, and he charges him $12 for his coffee.
So now everyone knows exactly who Ant-Man is, too.
But I just like that. He's like, you're the other bug. You're the other bug. You're the little, then you're big. He's like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'll take a coffee. And he goes, $12. So Spider-Man can get a free coffee.
Yeah.
Ant-Man is paying for his coffee.
And
as
more,
he
because
should.
I'm pretty
As
sure
he
it said
should.
$8 on the menu.
Yeah, Ant-Man,
so it's like
he's
even
got to
more.
make up for it.
Yeah, so he's like 12. All right.
That happens. That was fun. Blah, blah. Ant-Man's like, man, did we kill him? I don't know. He said it was going to be worse if we...
Yeah, as he's walking down the street.
He's like, he said if we killed him, then it would have gotten worse. Fuck, did it get worse? He's like, no, everything's good. Everything's good.
He said everyone's gonna die. Every like existence we know is gonna come to an end. It's like some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, we should be fine.
No, it's fine. And then the credits roll, and then it baffles me.
Huh.
It really baffles me.
Oh, how many people just fucking left?
We're fucking
30 something.
We're so far into Marvel movies.
Yeah.
To where if you're going to the theaters
to see
like, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, you know there's credit scenes.
Come on.
And people are just walking out.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
Credit scene number 1, we see all of the Kangs.
This is a huge scene.
They confirm that Kang is the Kang that was exiled is dead.
And he was also one of the main council members. So we see that there's an entire council, an entire arena full of Kangs, thousands of Kangs, but there's only 3 council members to the Council of Kangs that control all the Kangs.
And now that he's dead,
he was part of them, though.
Now that he's dead, they've called all of the Kangs to this arena.
And all the Kangs are so hyped that's like one of my favorite things. I'm like, oh my God. And I wonder if they try to make like a Planet of the Apes feel to it, because they were literally like almost making, I mean, dude, I know what you're gonna think, but no, I'm dead serious though. Like,
come on, dude. Come on.
There's a lot of references in this movie.
All the loud black people, and you're like, like I got real Planet of the Apes vibes, Well,
yeah,
because black people are like apes.
I'm not talking about like the new ones.
Like
old ones.
Like I look at a black person and I think monkey. Like that's insane, dude.
So first off,
that is insane. I normally have to try to make it seem offensive what you're doing, and you're just like bunch of black people getting excited. It felt like apes, I just call it like I see it.
So I
Nuts,
mean,
dude.
I feel like they were intentionally doing some things in that scene. One, you got the 3 council members, the 3 main Kangs that are running the Council of Kangs, and they're way more sophisticated in the way that they act. All the other Kangs have just showed up. They don't know what they're going to say, but they are all so intense. They're so ready to just, I don't know, go to war, do certain things, to be told maybe to go to war by these other Kangs. And I'm not talking about like the newest Planet of the Apes. I'm talking about like the old ones where, I just remember a scene where they all got brought together and they were all.
Let's move past that.
Well, they were all.
Let's move past the Planet of the Apes talk.
I mean, I think there was a lot of references in this movie to other movies. And I honestly feel like that's actually one of them. I don't mean it in any type of fucking racist way.
Yes,
bro.
you do, you piece of shit. You made fun of the disabled and the minorities. That was your goal with this episode. You told me ahead of time. You're like, I want to put down disabled people. I want to put down minorities. Let's roll. Hit play.
I know where to take it.
So then credits kept rolling forever, and then the last credit scene, we see Kang giving a speech in like the 30s. It looked old as fuck, and he's giving a speech about like fucking time about like fucking all of the shit, like quantum physics, all of that stuff that all of these movies are about. And we see Loki and Owen Wilson.
Yep. Oh yeah.
No.
Come
on, you always do it.
I know. Fucking.
Wow.
Wow. Oh wow. Wow.
We see them in the crowd, and they're talking about how Loki's like, look, he's like, you made him seem like he was such a bad guy. He's like, he's so fucking scary. He's like, this guy's the worst.
Yeah.
And then it ends.
Yeah.
And it says, Kang will return. Marvel.
And I saw something about that post-credit scene that apparently that Kang is supposed to be one of the main other Kangs, and is
so He Who Remained
was the main one.
But he also said once they killed him, he would reincarnate. He says reincarnation, baby.
Well, it's
and then I'll fight the war against all the other Kangs again and see if I can.
But it's less about the reincarnation in that point in time and more about the way that time is on a loop. So this is the next big thing about Marvel that a lot of people I don't think are aware of, is that the universe and the whole timeline is on a loop. So that's why Kang has said, "Have I killed you before?"
Yeah,
like they've been, and that's why He Who Remains says, I'll be back. It's not because he's going to be reincarnated at this point in time. It's because this is all going to happen again. And if you destroy me, and if you destroy this and that, like it's all going to loop back around again. Like this has already happened. Everything that's happening right now has already happened and will happen again unless, and this is what everyone's kind of theorizing, is that the Avengers is going to stop basically the MCU loop, and that the metaverse or the multiverse is on a loop right now, and that time is repeating itself, and that the same timeline in the same way that the sacred timeline is on a loop is what they're getting to.
Yeah.
And the Avengers have to break that. They have to kill the Kangs. They have to stop all. But that's like the weird thing is like, okay, because for existence to be proper, there needs to only be one timeline. So it's like in a way, Kangs are right, but in the same way, they're almost wrong. And I feel like there's going to be this weird moral thing
that's what Marvel does.
Yeah.
In a way, Thanos was right.
That's what. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Marvel is fucking great at doing this.
They're going to find exactly that fantastic way to play the whole moral game and make you, even as the viewer, kind of debate in your mind like, fuck, who's right, the Avengers or the villain?
I thought this movie was very good.
Yeah, me too.
The movie was very good, and it got me excited for what Marvel is going to do going forward.
Me too.
Because Thor: Love and Thunder made me think, oh, Marvel might suck from now on.
Yeah, and this movie, exactly.
I'm excited for Loki Season 2.
Exactly.
I'm excited for what's happening next.
Same. And
Guardians of the Galaxy is coming up. Like,
yeah. And at the same time,
for all this shit.
They brought this movie full circle. Like, you're not, like, hanging off an edge over, like, oh, what's going to happen to, you know, some of the characters in the movie next. Like, it's all brought full circle, but at the same time, it leaves you open to everything else that's going to happen in the multiverse, especially with Kang. Yeah. So I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun, and I thought they did a good job at opening up new, but at the same time, wrapping up everything else we saw.
But you know who did a better job?
David, and you know what, bro? I kept thinking as I was watching Kang, you know who could have done Kang? Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. If he could do the Nutty Professor, he could do Kang.
He could fucking do Kang.
He could do fucking anything.
I wonder if Jonathan Majors hit him up and was like...
He was like, hey, like they offered it to him, like, you sure you don't want Eddie Murphy?
And if you don't, and if I take it...
They're like, we can't afford Eddie Murphy. You kidding me? And they're like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, we're just Disney. All right, we can't afford Eddie Murphy.
And then Jonathan Majors is like, Eddie, can I just get some help? Just need to be...
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Of course, I got you.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm Eddie Murphy.
That's why he's doing so good in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who else was even better? Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
Guys, we're doing another movie in theaters, guys. We're doing Winnie the Pooh,
Blood and Honey.
Guys, do you want to watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood? It might just be Pooh, Blood and Honey. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Before we do a podcast on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, you shouldn't watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Before we do a podcast on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, you can't watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Before we do a podcast on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Only in theaters.
Only in theaters.
And we gotta find a theater that does it near us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're not watching
gonna
it
be
in theaters.
so
We're gonna have
much
to fucking
blood.
legally stream it.
So much
Even more honey.
Yeah, even more honey. David, I was going to ask you, though, before we end today's podcast, what did you give this movie? Let me remind you.
I don't want to grade it.
You don't want to grade it?
No.
Yeah?
I'm very fresh off watching it.
You want to wait until like next week or something?
I maybe never. I don't know.
Okay.
I maybe want to watch it again.
All I know, though, is the
I don't-
ratings are too low.
Yeah.
That's something I will
The
say
ratings
for
are
sure.
way too low.
Yeah, like what are they, 67% or something?
46% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fucking
which is a
baffling.
joke.
Yeah, that's a joke.
It's a fucking joke. This was good.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
movie.
If you don't like it, you're a fucking nerd.
Get out of here.
Fucking nerd. Speaking of nerds, they're good on the internet,
They are good.
right?
Oh.
Where would those nerds go if they wanted to tell us to do their favorite movie?
Oh, David, they would just go to our website. 56kings.com.
FIVESIXKING.com?
Yes.
And what they would just go, there's a submit ideas tab at the top. They'd click it. They'd write their name. They'd write the movie they'd want to do, and they write which one of us they want bringing you scene by scene through the movie.
It's that easy.
It's that easy, guys. Go to 56kings.com. Give us your ideas.
Yeah.
We're all ears.
yeah.
We're all eyes. We're all ears.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Braden, when do new episodes of the 56 Kings drop?
Oh, David, every motherfucking Monday.
Well, unless it's not, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because something that's not can't be.
Yeah.
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 So
We're
guys,
not
you're-
Kang.
You heard it here first. Every motherfucking Monday, unless it's not.
Yeah.
New episodes of the 56 Kings. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go. If you watch Marvel movies, it's insane that you listen to all of this and haven't seen it.
Go watch it.
But if that's the case, go watch this movie.
It's a
very good.
movie to see in theaters, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, guys. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love you all very much. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Bitch, I'm from Palm Beach County. That's where I'm from. When niggas get